Hi everyone. Let me tell you how our product is solving the three use case. So the first use case is how we can help a tribe lead to make sure that the team is delivering at a consistent velocity or a consistent efficiency so that they can understand what is happening down the bottom line or in the delivery stage, and then translating those insights into their language so that they can talk to the executive in much more better way rather than talking in technical knowledge. So what we have done is we have divided multiple delivery metrics into three different metrics which any business people can understand. One of the metric is quality metric, another is efficiency, another is business. So quality metric means if you are developing a product, how do you know that the product is of high quality? Second is efficiency. How do you know that your team is consistently delivering or developing at a consistent efficiency? And third is, if I'm developing something, what is the value I'm getting? What is my ROI? How do you know that someone is using your product? So let's take an example. Let's say I am a tribe lead. So here you can see different teams are working. So here I can see the team 1 has got 8 out of 10 marks. The question is why? So you go there. So here the team 1, which is a bank industry where many people are working like as Jack, Lisa, Alex, Tom, and they're working on different tickets, priority, their progress, start date, end date, and dependency. Now let's say from a quality point of view and the team point of view, you can see we are tracking the complete rate. We are tracking per sprint. So how many times you have completed your sprint or completed your delivery at a particular sprint. So you can see that from the first sprint you have completed 70%, in the second one you have completed 50%, third one you have completed 85%. So it's quite variable. So this is not actually good way to think like from a complete rate point of view. You need to have a very consistent way, because if you are consistent then your delivery will be consistent. Second one is a churn rate. So how many times if you have developed a code, how many times it was churned, like people couldn't use it, and how many times it had to be redone. So we are also tracking the rework rate and the churn rate. Third is how many times you are pulling and pushing the code request in GitHub and repository. By integrating with GitHub or SonarQube, you can have a very good understanding of this type of metrics. Fourth is your defect. For example, if you have developed a product in the testing phase, you have got the escape defect rate. So we are also tracking all those metrics. So by combining 4 metrics, we are providing you why the quality metric of this team is 8 out of 10, whereas the other team is 7 out of 10. This can help the business team to understand who is their most mature team. Second is efficiency metric. In the efficiency metric, we are tracking team velocity. So number of times you are finishing story points. So as you can see, the graph is quite linear, and then it's moving down and then up. So it's quite variable. Second one is that we are tracking the cycle time, lead time, and flow efficiency. So cycle time is the time you actually start working on the feature and then by the time you finish the feature. Lead time is the time you actually got a request and then you finish the delivery. So there's a difference. And then we're also tracking the flow efficiency. So the flow efficiency will actually help us. So for example, let's say someone gave me a feature to do today and I have to finish after 10 days. So that's my lead time. However, I start working after 3 days and then I deliver after let's say 10 days. The question is, why my cycle time, why I had to wait for 3 days? What was the problem? So by tracking the flow efficiency, you can see this is the time you are actually working within the lead time. However, this time you are actually might be waiting for another person's approval, or someone was sick, or there was a dependency. So by actually working on your flow efficiency, you can improve your cycle time and lead time. Third is the actual estimated time and your planned time. So for example, if you have estimated that you will be delivering within 10 days, however, you have actually done after 20 days. So what was the surplus and what was the deficit? So this actual metrics can help a team to understand why their efficiency is low and why their efficiency is less. The third part is business metric. So the question is, if I'm delivering a product or a feature, what is my ROI? So as you can see, this was my actual expenditure. However, my budget was this. So this is the surplus. So by tracking the surplus and the revenue, you can see the revenue. We can create a ROI index or ROI maturity level of what I am getting out of it after developing something. So this can help a product owner or any person within the team to prioritize which one will provide me more value. Second one is, if you are creating a feature, how do you know that people are using it? By integrating with Google Analytics, by integrating with Mixpanel, you can understand what is the traffic rate of each of your product feature and also the complaint rate. So many times you develop a product, but after production you see that people are not using it or there might be multiple complaints. So how do we combine all those things into a metric that can help a development manager or a business team to understand why this is happening, how we can improve that in real time? So pretty much, as you can see, we integrate every departments under one platform so they don't have to jump to multiple interface to get all this insight in real time. Now that was the first use case. Second use case is, as a talent manager, how might I improve and retain key talent? So let's go back, dashboard. So from our team one, as I mentioned last time, there are 4 different people working: Jack, Lisa, Alex. So let's go into Jack's profile. So what we are doing, because we are tracking each team's metrics, we are also tracking each individual metric. So by understanding how many times he is receiving different commitments, how many times he is pushing the code in the Jira, and what's his comparison as compared to other people. So we are also tracking this. Also tracking soft skills. So for example, by understanding what's his communication, what type of language, what is the positive comments he received. Using sentiment analysis, we're also tracking this thing. Third is, how many times he's finishing the task on time, how many times he's pushing tickets, how many times he's updating the Jira pipeline. That actually helps a team to understand the agile maturity index also. Also, we are tracking in real time what are the different endpoints he's touching. So for example, you can see he has worked in the API integration, backend, frontend. However, his rework rate is 10% in API integration, backend 2%, frontend 5%. We're also tracking the capacity. So what are the priority of tasks? What are the different capacity he's working on? So you can see from 15th April to 22nd April, he's working on middle level priority task. You can see. However, from 29th April, he's working on high priority task. So it's pretty much working on high priority task for a long time. Only during 27th May and towards the end of June or first week of June, he's working on low priority tasks. Fourth is, how many times, what are the different courses he's taking? So for example, if I'm a motivated employee, I'll always try to keep on doing different courses online because I want to enhance myself. So this can provide the HR manager much needed information of what is happening, because what people say and what people do is totally different. People just lie. They say, oh, I'm enjoying the company, I'm just enjoying the different culture. But how do you know what is the metrics you are enjoying? What are the metrics that you are actually doing good work? By tracking all these metrics for an HR manager, this is a good kind of value proposition. Second one we are tracking is efficiency. So as you can see, from week 1 to week 4, he's moving tickets at a very fast time. However, from week 4 to week 7 is increasing. That means his efficiency is developing as it progresses over to the next week 5 and week 6. Also, we are tracking his churn rate. So you can see he has finished tasks, but 24% of the time it was churn. So you cannot use that product. So there might be some problem in his skill set. And this is his comparison as for different weeks for his churn rate. So you can see in week 4, his churn rate was quite high, 81%, which is very, very bad from an individual perspective. Fourth is, what's his engagement? So as I mentioned, the communication, is he coming on time? Is he developing, is he engaging with different stakeholders in the right way? Is he getting right comments? What's the problem? So by tracking all those metrics, we can understand who is the person who is your who is your key talent, who is the person who might leave soon, who is the person who might need more technical training. So as you can see, this is like a light bulb. By tracking efficiency, engagement, and churn rate, we know from the inside who has high risk of leaving. So from this guy, he has good efficiency, good engagement, but his churn rate is quite high. So that means he has problem from a skill set point of view. So it provides the HR manager to understand that he needs proper training. So you can go and have a chat to the person, and this way you can motivate an employee to improve their skill set, because all we know that every person who join a big company, they're all skillful, but it's about how do we coach them, or how do we understand where's this problem. So our metrics can provide all these things in a much more detailed way. The final use case I was mentioning is resource allocation. So how do we find the right resource at the right time? So let's go back to the tribe lead. So let's say from here, there is a burn down chart. So from a product owner, suddenly you find that there is a high risk of delay. The question is why? So you press here, you find that one of the user story, there is you need 20 hours of front end, 20 hours of back end, so number of hours. So that means there might be a scope creep, or a new client who wants to add a new feature, but you need this amount of time. Some company you can also use it in story point rather than time, so you can change it as and when required. However, from a team point of view, as a scrum master, you find that, oh shit, in the back end I have 20 hours shortage of resource. So what do? I have to deliver at a particular time. So how can I find the right resource now? I can't like just hire someone from other team or hire from outside, because it might take me more time to give them context. You have to use the code and blah blah blah. So what we are doing, because we are tracking every individual employee and team in real time, we provide you the top 5-6 people who will be best suited during that time by understanding their capacity, skill set, experience, churn rate, salary, domain, and soft skill. So by integrating different departments, tools, we are aggregating all those data into insight that can help you find the best people at the right time. It's like a freelancer. If you need someone with this type of skill set, who is the right person? So we provide you a best AI-based recommendation for that particular skill set. So these are the 3 different use cases we are working. Obviously, it needs to be refined based on the use case we'll be working on. So that's about us. Thank you.